Our next generation of designers and architects are going into a really difficult world. It's more crowded. There's the issue of climate change that they will have to kind of tackle head on. And they're going to have to make difficult decisions about not designing things. So design is an incredibly loaded term. For me as an architect, design is about solving problems, but it's also about finding opportunities. It's also about doing as little as possible to maximise the kind of outcomes we can realise. And when it comes to doing work for my architectural clients, I guess my priority is to maximise what I can do for them whilst retaining as much of the existing building fabric as we can. Sydney's an incredibly dense city and is only going to get more populous, so I see my role as an architect to try and work with existing building fabric to try and reuse buildings as much as possible. And that way we kind of highlight the narrative or the history of a place. We need spaces that are comfortable to be in, that allow us to populate them with things that have meaning to us. It needs to enhance the way we live rather than dominate. And materials that are kind of a joy to the senses are important. There are lots of buildings in lots of cities around the world that are very self-conscious and not very functional. In its truest sense, architecture is about shelter. That's the basic tenet of architecture, I guess. So if we get too caught up in making it about us, then we run the risk of not actually fulfilling what we're here to do. What I try and instill in students is asking questions. I guess the most used word in a studio would be why. Why am I doing this? Why have I taken on this commission? Why am I using this material? With the great waste problem that we have around the world, a designer has a responsibility to question every brief they're given and say, do we need that? And what are the alternatives?